embraced XBRL by appointing a separate team to build the XBRL IFRS taxonomy in complete linkage with the bound volume. So when you go to the IASB site, you will find the IFRS, the accounting standards is completely reflected in the IFRS taxonomy. So both are closely coupled. So countries which are embracing IFRS, they're embracing XBRL along with IFRS because they find if I bring the electronic reporting ability and the standardization along with my IFRS adoption, my world becomes easier, smoother, efficient. So IFRS or IASB has given a big push towards XBRL, and there's a team working, and there is a mother taxonomy, the IFRS XBRL taxonomy, on top of which countries are building their own specific requirements. So the basic taxonomy which is used now mostly by countries is the IFRS taxonomy. In India, the ICA has built the Indian GAAP taxonomy. It's on the ICA website. But now the ICA is looking at building a taxonomy for IFRS converged standards, which I think will be applicable from 2011. So you'll have a set of taxonomy for the IFRS standards, and for those Indian companies which are not going to IFRS, you'll have a taxonomy for the, as per the Indian GAAP. So both are going to coexist. Your Schedule 6 is going to change. When Schedule 6 is going to change, there will be a corresponding XBRL taxonomy which will go along with it. So there will be a big awareness program which I think the ministry will and the ICA will undertake next year. That's the information we get. All based on coupling the new accounting standards along with XBRL in a very inextricable and closely linked fashion. This is a very important development. From 2009, top companies in the US capital markets are filing in XBRL. It has led to a big opportunity for Indian chartered accountants. For example, in our company, there are more than 40, 50 CAs working in this area. They work with the US companies, they bring their financial reporting into XBRL and they file with the SEC. You need domain knowledge. You need to appreciate XBRL and you need to bring in your accounting knowledge. If you bring them together, you're an XBRL professional. In India, as I said, ICA constituted a high-level group in 2007, and RBI launched the XBRL-based filing platform in 2008. 2009, India became a professional jurisdiction. And in the steering committee for XBRL across the world, India has 2 members. There is Dr. Avinash Chandra from the ICAI, and there is Srimati Usha Narayan from SEBI. They are both on the XBRL steering committee in the global steering committee. So India is there to stay. And India is looking at the new taxonomy standard. And from what I hear, MCA 21 will move into XBRL. Both for listed and unlisted companies, they have to file in XBRL going forward. It will be a fairly easy process, but accountants will need to use tools. They need to understand the basics of XBRL to provide that extra service to companies. Again, that's an opportunity. Now let's look at the last session. I think we got maybe about 5 minutes. I'll take another 5 minutes. If you're an accountant, XBRL generation is important for you. If you are consolidating accounts, you will soon find XBRL helping you there. Your consolidation, that process can become much more efficient. Your MIS, especially if you are not using a BA system, even if you are using a business intelligence system, the whole system can be made much more efficient, more cost-effective if you bring in XBRL. If you're an auditor, auditing is a very important, internal audit, especially as my previous speaker very clearly mentioned. If you have if you're an auditor, if you bring in IT to help you, it can really help your, practice. And XBRL is going to be there as a very important, technology or tool when you're going to look at your new internal control systems. For example, in the US, the SOX is a very costly affair. They're looking at how to use XBRL to make it more cost-effective. If you're a consultant, and many CAs are consultants now, and many of them are working in XBRL in building taxonomies, in building a system, consulting practice in IFRS transformation, coupled with XBRL technology. So these are some of the big opportunity areas. External reporting supply chain, where you work with regulators. For example, SEBI has come out with a tender, and it is going to be implemented from next year onwards. It's called a super disclosure platform. Any market participant, be it a company, be it a broker, be it a mutual fund, will have to file with the regulator only using XBRL. So once you have that, then you have the accountants helping the companies to file in this particular form. So external reporting supply chain, there are huge opportunities. There are opportunities in consulting, in XBRL ordering, in working with companies. Internal reporting, that will follow suit. Once you have XBRL generation for external reporting, internal reporting is one step away. The migration to IFRS-based accounting, which I think at least 8,000 companies in India will have to do that sooner or later. If you integrate XBRL into the process, you can have a relatively quick and cost-effective transition. You can either go down to your ERP and completely retool it. It's a very difficult proposition. It can be done. Or you have an XBRL layer, which can make the whole thing much easier. So companies are looking at it. Internal audit process. If you have deeply embedded XBRL systems, it will change the way you can do internal audit. This is yet to come. This is maybe a couple of 3-4 years away, but it will happen. Once that happens, the way an internal auditor works will change. His ability to manage, his productivity can increase manifold. So the basic message is XBRL can throw up significant, huge opportunities across the financial reporting supply chain, starting from transactions all the way to the external stakeholders' receipt of the information. If you are a CFO, you should consider this. You can have a bolt-on approach. When I have XBRL on top of whatever I do, you can partially integrate or you can embed into core systems. This is typically the roadmap which CFOs will look as they go forward. They need to use XBRL because the regulators are demanding that, the bankers are looking for that. How do I adopt it? I can adopt as a bolt-on system, which is something as service above what I have. I can partially integrate, or I can really go into my transaction systems and embed XBRL. If we do that, the embedding part, then the world will change in a significant way in terms of the usability of information. But that is a few years away. My personal take is embedding into core systems will take time because the ERP vendors are taking their time in embedding XBRL into their existing systems. And if you want to adopt a new version, it's usually a costly affair. So the last part could take time, but both the bolt-on and partial integration have already started happening. So here is a peek into the future. What could happen? Okay. Some of it could happen, some of it will take time. You can have intelligent regulatory compliance, single click. Currently, people upload a PDF document. It would change if you XBRL. You need to work with data, not with documents. XBRL is about data. It's from document to actionable data. But if you have the right software and softwares are being built, your work of complying with regulators can become very easy. For that matter, even GST filing is set to move into XBRL. Not even financial report filing to MCA or to the capital markets regulator. Even GST will move into XBRL going forward. Income tax could move. Financial consolidation engines, due diligence tools, audit trails, investment analysis. The reporting part of information will change very soon. The transaction part will slowly follow suit.